December is going to be a bit rocky. So let me start over again here now and address the aspects that are coming in already for these first December days. Welcome everybody to our energy update and energy tips for week 49. That is the 27th of November till the 3rd of December 2021. My name is Jona Bryndis. I'm airing from Florida, my healing tent here. I'm an energy healer, energy coach and energy therapist for energetically sensitives and empaths from all over the world. I am offering this as a weekly service and also monthly service in form of forecasts, energy reports and direct energy tips. These last days here in November, we just mentioned this in the energy prayer session right before the energy tips. It's about resetting our perspective. It's about really looking at life as something that is here for us and not the other way around. Yeah, focusing on our needs, yeah, on the fundamental needs that we have to sustain our own energy, to become independent energetically so that we don't need other people or substances or certain circumstances. Our wants, our desirables, our preferences, how we would like to have it. And of course, this is a big, big part for all of us right now in these times, a vision, an ideal, a goal that we can work to. And I can tell you out of my own practice here what the biggest problem for most people is. We have been conditioned to seeing the world and our life in it from a fear-based perspective that has focused all our energy around survival and how to cope better with adverse circumstances. And this is something that really needs to shift now. So in these last days of November, you will feel an impulse, very strong impulse, to do some inner work. There will be a lot of fears that will be triggered here in these last days, latest on December 1st, okay, when our whole entire collective goes into this. This is we're already being primed for this, into this fear of a new COVID variant and a fear of the pandemic not being able to be stopped through the vaccine. So it's basically this truth hitting everybody now that the vaccines aren't really doing what they promised to do. All right, and I hate to say it, but in Europe, you guys will see this in a couple of days. Yeah, lockdowns, and perhaps even lockdowns in a way that you haven't had before. So there are really waves of more restrictions of our freedom coming in, which is why you guys really need to amp up your own clarity about what you need, what you want, and what you are living for. Yeah, where this is supposed to go for you. And when fears get triggered, guys, our brain literally isn't able to go there anymore. Okay, this isn't because you're dumb or you're not seeing it. It's because your neurotransmitters and your nervous system are incapable of thinking and feeling and basically envisioning yourself beyond. Okay, you get so fixated on your fear, yeah, that you cannot really identify what your needs are, what your wants are, and what your goals in life are, because all you're focused on is how to survive, how to get through to the next day. And especially here during the holidays, which will continue not just in Europe, also for other countries, the restrictions hit us very hard, because for most of us this is the time of the year where we want to socialize with our loved ones. So we will feel the restrictions more and more in our daily life. And guys, apart from what you thought that you've gone through already, it's not the virus itself that is creating that. It's the media and the collective fear around it that affects you. So whether or not it's true what is being perpetrated there or portrayed, the way it will feel inside of you, just due to the fact that you have a nervous system, due to the fact that you have a confusion about what works, what doesn't work, what needs to be done, what's the best way to move forward and so forth, makes it difficult for you to see that. And this is something that I've reported about quite substantially. Actually, if you go to my YouTube channel, there are hours and hours of workshops on how to identify mind control, and etheric control, etheric abuse. These are things that we teach here at transCODES. It's not a mystery, guys. This isn't mysterious. This is very, very simple. Anybody who knows the human nature, who studied the human nature, understand this. So you have to find the right balance between making decisions in your life, making changes in your life that produce more safety, because you're going to have an elevated need for safety. And that it becomes a new need, that you don't have to ruminate about. You just have to see it and ask yourself, what do I need to feel safe? Okay, and then do it. You will have an elevated need for, social, emotional exchange, connection with others, and you'll have a need to align to something that allows you to get past your own limitations. So what I'm basically saying here is that this next week brings in a massive shift in can bring in a massive shift in our way of thinking. We have to understand that it is against our nature, to check out. This is not what we are designed to. It is against our nature to isolate. It is against our nature to not be able to feel safe in our environment. Even if you think all the way back to Neanderthal times, all right, the first need that had to be fulfilled for the family or the tribe or whatever is to feel safe. Then obviously that's the shelter, then obviously the food and clothing and all that. And then you would start tending to the things that bring the desires, that bring in the preferences. And right here, most of you cannot think clearly anymore. There's a mental laziness that has sort of gotten hold in us here over the last year and a half through all this mind control. That has not really exercised that muscle to look beyond, okay? Look beyond just survival, and look at what has changed in the last year and a half. There's a lot of things that have changed in my life here, even though I still live in Florida, but I have moved in the time because I didn't feel safe where I was before, and feeling safe is a subjective experience. All right, you have to all answer this for yourself. And I needed a different sort of setting for my pets and my kids and so forth that is helping them to grow. All right, that is more conducive for them, because everything that's conducive for my kids, for my pets, for my family is conducive for me. For me, that is simple because I have been training this within myself for over 20 years. But most of us have gotten into a bit of a mental laziness and even a spiritual laziness. And instead of actually looking at what our true needs are, we looked at ideals only. And you have to be careful here, because this is what's being used by marketing, by media, by propaganda against you. Okay, you're being focused on your ideals only or on your fears only, and that does not allow you to recognize your true needs. Okay, so there's a huge sort of cognitive dissonance created in you, and that will make you doubt yourself here in this next week. So this is not to be underestimated. That's why I have a bit of a serious tone here to that, because when your self-doubts are triggered, guys, it usually also triggers some of the inner child stuff, some of your trauma stuff. All right, and this whole next month is all about recognizing, acknowledging trauma and understanding the purpose of it, understanding how our trauma actually leads us to growth, all right, and what we need to do to overcome it. Yeah, not to forget it, not to repress it, but to overcome it. So it's a week, a month, I want to say, of very intense inner work that is needed. Yeah, partially because of these renewed restrictions that I have talked about. So it's something that I've already predicted here in the November forecast coming in clearly now. We will see more lockdowns again, and this will be a different Christmas, guys, for all of us. All right. We will see, especially in this week, probably even this weekend, even more protests than we have already seen. By the way, if you are interested in unbiased media, you can always go to my forum. It's free for everyone, where I collect studies and articles, non-biased articles that produce a slightly different picture. Yeah, that help us to pierce through some of this overlay. The political truths of our situation are becoming more and more visible for all of us now. Okay, and what this will trigger in you is the need to become, well, basically able to rely on yourself, and that's why your self-doubt will be triggered. Okay, that's why you will go into a different kind of fear now that is beyond just like sort of experiencing the trauma of what is going on around you, but a trauma that is older, that really that comes from either your childhood or even epigenetically, something that you've experienced in a past life, or that has been handed down from several generations through your ancestors. So you're going to really have to go into this who am I part now. This is the time, guys. Do not refuse that call. It is the time to do that, because once the restrictions hit you, you will not have the freedom to do that anymore. You will be wrapped up in that so much that it will be hard for you to bring up this mental discipline that we talked about here on Wednesday and last week, okay? Like how to question your perception and not yourself. The difference between doing and being is something that most people have difficulties with. And in December, I'll probably talk a lot about that, because December is all about finding our true identity, guys. And when the rubber meets the road, or the push, whatever, you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm not good with these idioms, these proverbs in English. Yeah, when it gets rough, okay, that's when we need to know who we are. We are not what we do. We are what we are, guys. And that is another kind of exercise here that I will probably guide you through. Obviously, within the transCODES community, in these energy sessions and workshops that I do, but also here on YouTube. Yeah, it's all about becoming independent and understanding that your identity is not what you're being told from the outside. So seeing yourself from within yourself, this is an inside job. So this intense inner work here that is coming up for us, that call needs to be answered, guys. Yes, I am an energy coach. Yes, of course, I see it through that lens, but I cannot stress that enough. There's a reason why so many of you have been drawn to this inner work. This, in my contextualization, was all just preparation for what is coming now. So you got to understand that this inner work isn't about, how to become rich overnight, or how to get laid, or how to, create all these desires and pleasures in your life and avoid pain. This isn't about how to cope better with stuff. No, this is about you really professing you to yourself. You have to proclaim who you are to get through this time. Good news is, we're going to get some really cool new energy coming in by the end of December. Okay, so January will develop a bit more positive picture, and it will be much more hopeful. But as for the next 4 to 6 weeks, guys, 4 to 6, 7 weeks, we're going to have to buckle up. And the best way to do that is to actually know who you are. Because if you have to go within to resolve the problems, you better have a clarity there about who you are. Yeah, this is very, very important. Do not go into this, I called it mental laziness earlier, where you just check out. You cannot afford this. Yeah. What is my power? What is in my power to change? What is safe for me? Yeah. And how do I want life to be? How can I come to a new understanding of life? Yeah, that is growth-oriented, that is life-promoting, as I call it. Yeah, this is the beginning of the new paradigm of being. Yeah, on Saturday, we have a very powerful solar eclipse and new moon. I'll probably talk about that here on Wednesday next week, because I'm expecting a lot of different things to happen. So 4th of December is really the pinnacle of this new energy coming in. And then winter solstice on the 21st is going to bring in even more of that clarity. So yes, guys, buckle up, all right? Don't see this as a doomsaying, okay? This is helping you to prepare what to focus on, all right? Don't get pulled into this Black Friday consumerism sale thing. This is all distraction, guys. This is all just pleasure buying in order to better check out. Only focus on what you truly need. Only focus on what helps you to connect with yourself and others, what makes you feel safe. All right, guys? But this is just my view and my energy tip here for this next week. If you feel this differently, or if you feel the same way, please share it with us here in the comments. This is not a criticism, but I have a little bit of a problem with barely any commentary here, yeah, or likes on my YouTube videos. There's like over 1,000 people watching my videos every week, yeah, and one comment or 5 likes. All right, so guys, yeah, let other people know that this resonates with you. It is something, you know, that also shows, yeah, that we are all in this together. All right. I know it's complex, and if you want to know more, I'm doing the energy tune-up session on Sunday. That is a in-depth clearing and personal reading for December energies for your life. I am diving into this right now, what these December energies are bringing for us, and tomorrow we have the forecast discussion here among the Sacred Self-Healing community, and then one more time on December 6th I start the high energy transformation. That is for people who are serious, who need a daily energy boost. This is very woo, but it is something to consider for those of you who are so close to breaking through things. Yeah, daily doses for 2 weeks can really, really make a difference there. Okay, other than that, I see you very, very soon, and I'm wishing you a good week, okay? And focus on what makes you feel safe, what makes you feel grow. Do not check out, guys. All right? Love you. See you soon. Bye-bye.